So we put together the broad spectrum extrasolvita soil health test to cover as much as possible all three pillars of soil fertility: chemical, physical and biological. So the test is set out very simply and hopefully easy to interpret. First of all, we get those key soil characteristics that drive how that soil is going to behave. Very much the basics of soil health: pH, which of course affects everything from nutrient availability to biological activity; organic matter, which is central very much to soil health; CEC, or cation exchange capacity, which is an indication of the soil's ability to retain nutrition; soil respiration, that's probably the most interesting one, or certainly the newest one, which is an indicator of the CO2 emitted by the aerobic biology within the soil, a true indicator of soil life. Carbon to nitrogen ratio comes next. That's a good indicator of the rate at which organic matter is being broken down. As carbon to nitrogen ratio rises, carbon cycling is slowing. Conversely, if carbon to nitrogen ratio drops, that shows that we may be burning through carbon too quickly. We have an accurate textural classification, a little bit more on that in a second. Well, that summarizes and completes those major soil characteristics. Next section is on the major nutrients: phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, the nutrients you'd expect to find in a standard soil test, and they're clearly interpreted against the RB209 index system. Completing this first page, we have all the key secondary and micronutrients, and the interpretation for these are both crop specific, but also for some of those pH specific as well. So a full suite of all key plant and potentially animal nutrients. Moving on to the second page, first of all we'll find the section on the physical analysis, an accurate laser diffraction determined analysis of sand, silt and clay, plotted very clearly on the texture triangle there as well. And on the right hand side of that, again, repeated the results, but maybe some expected parameters and behaviour you might come to expect from a soil of that textural class. And the third section of the report focuses on the biological analysis. Again, a reminder of the respiration rate of the soil, the organic carbon, determined by accurate Dumas combustion techniques. And the great thing about Dumas combustion is that it simultaneously gives us an indication of the total nitrogen or organic nitrogen within the soil, and that allows us to calculate for you the all-important carbon to nitrogen ratio, a very important indicator of carbon cycling and the breakdown speed of organic materials that we may add. Derived from that, we've got a microbial biomass and also a potentially mineralizable nitrogen amount there as well, because obviously we want this biology to cycle nutrition into plant available forms. Right at the bottom of the report, we have a reinterpretation of the pH result and how it may be impacting upon the soil biology, the bacterial and fungal populations. And then finally, we have an overall soil assessment score, which takes into account all the results upon your report. These results are weighted in importance, some parameters being maybe more significant than others, but this allows you to very easily compare one field against another and see why maybe one field is behaving and yielding in a very different way to the field just next door. Okay, so that's our soil health report. Thank you very much.